Yes, sir.
You were talking about the first part of the hospital.
Yeah.
When you got to where you are now, the product that you're bringing up with, is that now or is there
Oh, Grin. No, as far as I know, Grin, which is the software we wrote in-house to do the lip sync, I believe is...
Jason Silva sold it in a book.
Did he?
Well, it's called Making Faces. It's very popular. So.
Yes, he did. He did a book out of it. No, I don't think we ever... I don't think Mainframe certainly never sold it, and I don't think Rainmaker sold it either. But the software that was used to do the animation was an off-the-shelf package. Yeah.
The other thing is, with the CGI, you find that you have to be able to use that's more trying to focus on blazing and stuff.
Yes, I mean, yes. In the first season, we were basically just trying to get the shows out the door by any means necessary. We were under tight deadlines. We ran behind, which is why ABC did that thing with the Medusa bug, where the bug kept coming back. And to buy us the Trias effect, bought us a few weeks, because, we were 24/7. I'd animate a scene and then slide under the desk for a nap, and then get up and animate the next scene. It's like, we were in the building all the time, 7 days a week, just trying to get the shows out the door. But once we'd done that, once we had all our models and all our sets and all that, we'd worked out the lip sync and everything, then it was like, okay, now we can take a breath and work on, production, making it look better and making it sound better and making the scripts better. Because, in the early days, we were getting scripts from Hollywood scriptwriters that were 52 pages long, and we didn't have time to edit them, so we'd record the whole thing, edit it in the Avid, make it work. But then when we had time and we could take a breath and we'd had a few nights sleep, we could say, okay, now when you send us a script, we've actually got time to read it and criticize it and send it back and get you to fix it. Or we'll fix it for you. So yeah, once we got past season 1, we had breathing room to get more creative with the storylines and things. Yes?
So I'm not sure if you answered earlier.
Yeah.
But given that, geek culture has been around forever, but given that computers were really starting to get really popular in the late 90s, how did you get the inspiration for the series when it takes place in the actual?
Right, that was, I mentioned earlier Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, the pop promo, which you may have heard of, but you might be familiar to. That Ian Pearson, who's one of the other creators, and I did that pop promo. So we were working in London, in England, not London, sorry. We were working in London, England, at the time in a facilities house doing CGI for commercials and like tumbling logos, like tonight on Fox kind of thing. We were doing all that kind of stuff for a living. And we were friends, Ian was friends with Steve Barron, who's you might have heard of. He's a big pop promo director. He directed a lot of famous pop promos. And we were bugging him to do a pop promo with CGI. And eventually he came to us with a project. It was Dire Straits. We did it, Money for Nothing, 3.5 weeks of hell. Got the promo done, made headlines all over the world, first promo ever played on MTV Europe, etc., etc. And it was doing that made Ian actually go, hey, we could do a TV show like this. We could do a cartoon like this. Now we've done a pop promo, now we could do a TV show.
What I mean more like, less about the graphical aspect of it is, how do you come up with the idea for that world that we're going to replace?
All right, you obviously didn't hear, because
no, actually, if it hasn't answered, then by all means, find another question. I don't know.
Okay, you can watch his tape later.
Yeah, I'm going to be uploading it online several sites. I can get some URLs afterwards.
No, you've been, yes, green shirt, yes.
Oh, okay. What is the show?
Just ask. Oh, Enzo's mom, yeah. What happened to Enzo's mom? Or? Well, that's the kind of thing where I was saying to that gentleman over there, once you've got over the episodic, I have a problem. Game comes in. We learn something. Game goes away. Everything's back to normal. Once you've got past those episodes and you start having fun with the creativity and the plot lines and getting more complicated, then you start throwing in those little crumbs like, oh, things haven't been the same since Dad killed everybody. And you guys all go, what did he just say? And when he said that, we hadn't thought it all the way through yet. It was just, we're going to do something with that later, and we'll just throw it in there. I can't remember what, we did that a lot. We'd throw in the little crumbs of, what did that guy just say? And we always...
Big crumb.
That's a big crumb. That one was a very big crumb.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously led to the whole events in Demon Rising and stuff like that.
That and Megabyte with holding nibbles and calling him father.
Father, that's the one. That's one of my favourites. That sort of, there you are, father. What the hell does it? So we'd throw in those crumbs and then we'd think about it. Dot's mum, Dot and Enzo's mum, I think what happened was, I think it was between season 2 and season 3, there was, as somebody pointed out, like a 3-4 year gap. Ian, Phil and I went away for a week to a place on Vancouver Island, and we wrote a movie. Well, we wrote the outline of a movie, a ReBoot movie, because at that point in time it looked like we wouldn't be doing season 3, we'd be doing a movie. So we wrote the outline of a movie, much of which ended up in Demon Rising. It basically evolved over the years into Demon Rising. But that gave us a bunch of ideas, like the thing about Dot's dad, that we then started throwing into season 3 and season 2, late season 2. And we always thought, sorry, I'm a long-winded way of getting to it, but we always thought we'd deal with, eventually we would deal with their mum. We just never got there. We just ran out of time. It all went the way it went, and I left mainframe, and Ian left mainframe, Phil left mainframe. We never got to tell that story. So we always had in the back of our minds that, one of these days we're going to have to tell the fans what's the deal with Mum. But we just never got there. Sorry. Because as I was saying to you earlier, you only answer the questions you need to answer when you need to answer them. So we knew that we'd deal with Dot's mum, but we didn't. And no, I can't tell you what the deal is with the mum, because we never answered that question yet, you see.
So other than using your favorite dancer there as a model for Andrea, who else did you use for modeling in that case, or was it just rough eyes, for most of the characters?
The question, seeing as how we got the music back, you may know that we used an exotic dancer as the body model for Andrea. Big Andrea, not little Andrea, big Andrea. That would be kind of weird. But, and did we use body models for anybody else? No. We used references like, I can clearly remember to this day when I built a lot of the female bodies on ReBoot, don't know why. And the first model I built on ReBoot was Dot. I built the brown uniform Dot Matrix with one boob, because we weren't allowed to give her 2 boobs at that point. And I had references, and one of my biggest references for her was Kira Nerys on Deep Space Nine. I don't know if you look at the early seasons of Deep Space Nine, there are real similarities between, possibly too many similarities between her and Dot. No, we'd gather reference, like, she's a bit this and a bit that, with a bit of this thrown in, and this comic book artist has just done this character, isn't it cool? I like the way he's done the legs, maybe we could use that on something. So, they were all mishmash. And it was when we got the chance to do Big Andrea that we went, hey, we got the chance to use a strip of this. So we did.
Okay, one last question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rainmaker owns the rights to ReBoot right now.
My approval, no. Rainmaker own the rights to ReBoot. They can do anything with it they want, and I can be mad about it or happy about it, but I can't do anything about it, no.
Okay, so I want to thank everyone for coming out. We're still here tomorrow.
Yeah, we're here all day.
And, there's anybody who needs Gavin to sign anything before they leave, I brought some markers.
Oh, you brought, okay.
Yeah.